Leaders, what if I told you that EMIs are quietly and unconsciously eroding your creativity, potential, and peace? Nearly every week, EMIs feature in one form or another in my conversations with my clients. They are not ordinary folks. Some of them are CEOs of large companies. Recently, I was talking to a 53-year-old professional CEO of a 1,500 crore company. He said he would think of starting something of his own once his home loan is paid off. But if you buy a 50 crore home in Magnolias, you may find yourself in the same trap. Stick with me till the end as we unpack how EMIs are stressing you out and pushing you into short term thinking that limits your growth. Plus, I will share strategies to break free and reclaim your mental and financial freedom. I'm your coach Vivek Singh, and you're watching CEO Alchemy. Let's talk about stress. EMIs can feel like a noose around your financial freedom, and science backs this up. There was a study in 2023 by Frontiers in Psychology. They found financial stress, like the pressure of meeting monthly debt payments, significantly increases your cortisol levels, leading to anxiety, depression, and cognitive impairment. When you're stressed about making EMI payments, your brain shifts to survival mode. The amygdala, the part of your brain that handles fear and stress, takes over, leaving less energy for the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for creativity and long term planning. Think about it. When you're worried about paying your car loan or mortgage EMI, are you dreaming up your next big career move or a creative project? Probably not. You're just trying to get through the month. EMIs are a major driver of financial stress. A 2021 study by RBI found that nearly 40%, 40% of Indian households are suppressed under EMI burdens. That's millions of people feeling trapped, not just financially, but mentally. Long time back, I had a client, let's call her Anjali, very senior executive, over a crore salary she was drawing. She told me that I feel like I'm working just to pay the bank. That stress was draining her energy, leaving her no mental space to innovate at work or pursue her passion for writing. EMIs weren't just taking her money, they were stealing her peace. Now let's talk about how EMIs push you into short term thinking. When you're committed to paying EMI every month, your focus narrows to how do I cover the bills next month? This is what psychologists call scarcity mindset. You are always chasing something to meet. A 2023 study found that financial stress impairs cognitive functions like working memory and decision making, making it harder to think long term. EMIs can amplify this by creating a cycle of obligation. You take a loan for a new phone because it's only 5,000 rupees, then a car loan at 50,000 rupees, and then a home loan for 4 lakh a month. Suddenly, you are not thinking about investing in your skills, starting a side hustle, or saving for early, peaceful retirement. You are just trying to stay afloat. This short term thinking kills your creativity and potential. Creativity thrives on freedom to experiment, take risks, and fail. But where do you have space? But when you are locked into EMIs, every financial decision feels like a high stake gamble. You stick to a safe job, a safe routine because you can't afford to mess up. Take my client, let's call him Vikram, the CEO I was talking about. At 53, he's at the peak of his career, leading a 1,500 crore company. But a 50 crore home loan means he can't even think about taking a risk on his entrepreneurial dreams. His potential is on hold, all because of the EMIs. And it's not just the CEO, it applies to you as well. Faster Capital came up with a report in 2024 that highlights that high debt to income ratio, often driven by EMIs, reduces your ability to save or invest. effectively capping your financial growth. For example, if 50% of your income goes to EMIs, you're left with little to build wealth or pursue your passions. Over time, this creates a life where you're working to pay off debt rather than building the future that you want. And it's not just about money. EMIs limit your mental bandwidth. Scientific reports suggest that chronic financial stress can lead to depressive symptoms years later, showing how debt can cast a long shadow over your long life. When you're constantly worried about payments, you are less likely to take risks like switching career, starting a business, or even pitching a bold idea at work. Your potential gets boxed in by the fear of missing an EMI. Now, the question is, how do you avoid falling into that EMI trap and protect your creativity, potential, and mental well being? Here are a few practical strategies that you may find useful. First, remember what your parents told you. Jete pav pasariye, tete lambi sar. So, live below your means. Before taking on an EMI, ask yourself, do I need this or am I trying to just look good in the eyes of others? Avoid lifestyle inflation. Don't buy a bigger house or a fancier car just because you can afford an EMI. Instead, prioritize financial flexibility. Secondly, save an emergency fund of 6 to 12 months of expenses before committing to big EMIs. This gives you safety net so you are not forced to short-term thinking if life throws you a curveball. Keep your total EMI payments exposure below 20 to 30% of your monthly income. If you are already over this, focus on paying off high interest EMIs first, like credit card or personal loans. And instead of locking yourself into EMIs every month, redirect it to learning and developing yourself. Many leaders have skyrocketed their career and financial wealth by investing into coaching. You may also think to do so. Apply financial mindfulness. Quite often, before you realize you have already slipped into a debt trap. So, review your budget weekly. Track your spending and reflect whether an EMI aligns with your long term goals. EMI might seem like a ticket to your dreams, but they can silently erode your creativity, potential, and mental health by trapping you in stress and short term thinking. Whether you are a CEO dreaming of a startup or a young professional eyeing the next big move, EMI can hold you back from your true potential. But you have the power to change that. Start by living below your means, building a financial buffer, and prioritizing investments in yourself over monthly installments. Leaders, if you have liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe the channel for the ideas that matter to you. And drop a comment below. How have EMIs affected your life? And what's the one step you will take to avoid that trap? Until next time, stop chasing payments and start chasing your potential. See you in the next video.